let's get started. Unit 1, Earth Science, Units Mapping Review. Which of the following measure north-south? So we're not looking for the one that runs north-south, we're looking for the one that measures north-south. It turns out that latitude is measured north-south. Remember, latitude is fatitude. Also, when you say the word latitude, your mouth goes wider, whereas you say the word longitude, your mouth goes longer. One of the ways to remember it. Very nice, Monty. What is the contour interval of this map? By the way, if things are looking a little bit blurry, you do want to go to settings and adjust it so you're downloading your video in HD. Beautiful. Okay, so a couple people didn't get this one right. So what is the contour interval? I know there's a lot going on here, but it says it right at the bottom. Contour interval equals 10 meters. Now, even if you didn't have that section down there, it's very simple to tell. All you got to do is find some known index contours, like here I have a 250, and here I have a 300, and know that we're jumping by a certain amount. So I would just flat out guess. I would start off probably with guessing with tens. So 250 to 260, 270, 280, 290, 300. Right? So it seems to make sense. Looking at this map, we can notice that the top part of the map has a higher elevation, bottom part has a lower elevation. Nice, Harrison. No problem, Jewel. Link is in the chat. What direction is the Long Creek? 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I see a bunch of people put north for this one. Let's take a look at the map again. If you look at letter C up here, and you follow the line down, you'll notice that we're just above the 300. So that tells us that line C, or point C, should be 310 meters. If we're looking at point D, which is 2 lines below 250, that means that that would be 240, 230. So, knowing that the top is high elevation and the bottom is low elevation, there's only one way for the water to flow, and that would be down, right to the south, because water always flows downhill. The other way that you could remember is you could see these kind of like arrow shapes that are made by the contours. The arrows always point to the top of the hill. And you can always remember that the water flows out of the V shape. So there's those V shapes and the water flows out of the V. Ashton's catching up. Very close lines equal what? See, we had a couple people join us. Link is in the chat. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so the closer the lines are together, that means that the slope is steeper. The more spread out those lines, the flatter it is. Nice, Ashton. Ashton's on fire. Okay. So there's a guy standing here and he's looking through an astrolabe. What is his latitude? How can we figure that out? Notice he's looking at the angle to Polaris. You either know it or you don't. 5 seconds. Okay, so we're all across the board on this one. Let's take a look. So, as you look through an astrolabe, there's a mirror in there that you line up with the star Polaris. Remember, the angle from Polaris to the horizon equals your latitude. So, this guy, I don't see any landmarks around him, but I know he's at 66.5 degrees north latitude. You just have to remember, from the horizon up to Polaris is the latitude. All right, if you remember, this was back with lab number 2. We went over that the altitude of Polaris, the angle to Polaris, equals your latitude. Angela's coming up. So Polaris is located in which constellation? Is it our Little Dipper, Orion, the Big Dipper, or Ursa Major? 2, 1. Okay, so the answer was Little Dipper on that one. All right, so again, flat out memorization one, Little Dipper. Polaris is part of the constellation. The Big Dipper is the pointer stars, and I think that's what a lot of you guys got confused with, because we look for the Big Dipper first, and that leads us to the Little Dipper. And Ursa Major, you've ever heard me say it, it's the same thing as the Big Dipper. They're the same constellation. Wow, Diana. What is the latitude and longitude of Buffalo? Stop. Don't answer this one. Look at the answers. We've got a bunch of degrees, and then north and west. That was for the red. For the yellow, we got a bunch of degrees in north and east. We've got the blue one, which is south and west, and we've got the green one, which is south and east. You don't even need to pull out your reference table for this. Where is New York State located? Is it in the northern hemisphere or the southern? Is it in the west or the east? Give it a guess. Think back to all the labs we've done. We were always either in the north or the south or the east or the west. What combination? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Some people thought we were in the east. Yeah, so we're in the northwestern hemisphere. Now, actually, when I did this, you got to forgive me, I accidentally got the location for Niagara Falls, not Buffalo. So let's go based on Niagara Falls on this one. And again, I apologize if it's a little bit tough to see. But remember, between 78 and 79, we have 60 minutes. Okay? So I see Niagara Falls is pretty much lined up on the 79. Maybe it's a little to the right of it. So you might say it's like 78 and 55 or 78 and 58 minutes. And then for the latitude, we are just above 43. So you can see the 43 is there, and I can see the 44 is up here. So I would say we're probably like 43 and 3 minutes, 43 and 2 minutes. And if you go back down, that's what we got for that one. Yeah, we have more practice on minutes if you want to take some time for that on the Google Classroom. Okay, what is located at 0 degrees latitude? 2, 1. Very good. 0 degrees latitude would be our equator. Nice, Ashton. What is 0 degrees longitude? Three, 2, 1. And yes, that would be your prime meridian. So the zeros are pretty easy to remember as long as you memorize those 2 locations. They unfortunately are not labeled in the reference table, so you do have to memorize. Joel's coming back. What is located at 180 degrees? 2, 1. It's the international date line. I'm surprised at you guys. North Pole is 90 degrees north. South Pole is 90 degrees south. International date line, that barrier that separates us between one day and the next, it's located in between North America and Russia. It runs through. Now again, it kind of like zigzags a little bit, but it separates one day from the next. Ashton still in the lead. Polaris will appear highest in the sky in which city? Now, again, we're going to pause it on this one too. I'm actually going to skip this one. So this one, you'd actually have to take the time, go back into your reference table, find each of these 4 cities, and find the one that's highest. I don't want to take the time to do this now. We're going to spend more time on that later. But reference table page 3 has those 4 cities. Cities on the same line of longitude have the same what? We know it can't be latitude, because longitude and latitude are 2 different things. We know it can't be elevation. $120 meters, excellent. Hi, Money. 21. Which direction is the water flowing? Contour interval is 10 meters. Water always flows out of the V. Guys, we just said water always flows out of the V shape. If it's coming out of the V shape, that means it's going to the south, coming from the north. Is that what the word from? (22) This is the name of the dark, bold line on a topographic map. Is it an index contour, an isotherm, field line, or an isobar? Oh, and the answer was true. All right, so let's see who won. Ashton came in third. Jocelyn came in second. Way to go, Diana. And honorable mention to Mandula and then Tassia. Okay, I want to take a minute. Don't leave. So these were the ones that you had the worst scores on, the most difficult ones. Polaris will appear highest in which city? Well, I skipped that one. Again, the higher up, the more north you are, the higher Polaris is going to be. Just remember, the altitude of Polaris equals your latitude. What is the latitude of this man? Remember, from the horizon up to Polaris equals the latitude. It looks like Polaris, because, well, you know, we did go over Polaris about a month ago, so it's been a while. So review Polaris. Polaris is located in Little Dipper. Highest elevation, I want to just quickly go back over these guys again. These are jumping by 20, 780, 800, 820, 840. You want to hit 860, but you can't. On your way up, you stop one short, so the answer would be 859. What is the lowest possible elevation of this depression? We're going from 60 down to 50, down to 40. You want to go down to 30, but you can't quite hit it. You can't quite reach that low, so you're stopping just short at 31. Lines that measure equal values within a field. Contour lines. Technically, isolines are also correct.